Hi everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood coach, Jason. I've coached hundreds of young men. Here are four you'll probably recognize. Maybe one of them is even you. Last week, we talked about why so many men feel lost in their 20s and 30s. Today, I want to take that a step further. Over the last 10 years of mentoring young adults, I've noticed something interesting. The men I work with don't all struggle in the same way. In fact, they often look incredibly successful from the outside, but they're stuck for completely different reasons. Today, I want to introduce you to four guys. They aren't real people, but every one of them is built from real clients I've coached over the years. See which one sounds the most like you. Let's go. Let's start with G. You came from a tough beginning, but you pulled up your socks. You seem to have figured it out, and you are able to support your family and you're working on your relationship. The things that I usually need to work on with this type of guy is number one, letting your inner child live. This is one that was actually tough for me too. It's okay. You don't have to always be serious and plan everything. Your family, your kids, your friends will benefit from seeing the things that you actually enjoy and love to do. Remember to strive for your own goals and passions. Your loved ones similarly need to see you actually going for the things that you care about. It will help them to see you alive, and you are doing a good job of modeling things for them for when they're adults. Because if they don't see people striving for their goals and passions when they grow up, they also will just grow into being only servants who are sort of dead inside, and it's not what you want. Last but not least, you need to know your worth. Don't relegate yourself to just being a servant. I know it's important to you and you don't want your family to go through what you went through. That's one of the things that's really important to you. But it's also important for them to see your life outside of your servant's heart. If you put people, including your kids and your partner, up on a pedestal, the most likely thing is they're going to lose balance and fall because you're the one holding them up there, or they'll expect you to worship them. So it's really important for you to not put people on a pedestal. It's not healthy for them. If this sounds familiar, maybe G is somebody that you know. I want to take a quick break to talk about partnerships. It's quite common at this age to be looking for someone to build a future with. Couple things that you should look for when you're dating. Number one is integrity. How do the people that you are interested in treat other people? What do they believe that makes them treat other people that way? What is the root of why they treat people the way they do? You'll see this in how they treat their family, and how they treat strangers, how they treat people at the grocery store, or when you're out to dinner. Pay attention to that, because as much as a lot of the time when we're dating, we put on a show, we don't necessarily put on the show for the people that we're not on the date with. And it's a good clue to what the drivers of that person's internal life are built on. Also, check their values. Bring up your own sensitive topics and be willing to talk about the ones that you notice have been sensitive for other people in society at the time. Do they believe in systems or equality? And are they willing to do anything about their beliefs? Or do they just have strong beliefs that they like to talk about a lot? Do you actually enjoy having conversations with them? Now, here are some things to work on in yourself. This is not just for G, this is for everyone. Work on your singleness. It's quite common for me when I'm working with especially guys, to have to work on them understanding that they still need to be able to be a healthy single person when they do get in a relationship. If you're looking for someone to make you whole and be your everything, like I said a moment ago to G, that's not healthy for anybody. When your partner travels for business or when you travel for business, you have to be able to be a healthy person when that happens. So work on your singleness. What I mean by that is keep in contact with your healthy friends, specifically your healthy friends. Make sure that you stay in touch with the things that you like about life outside of your partner or kids or the life that you're going to be building. You want to have the things that are important to you still in your life later on in life. Also work on your communication, both your listening and your ability to express your ideas. When you're looking for someone and you're trying to say, hey, I want to have and be with someone that I like talking to, you also want to be someone that's interesting to talk to. Now, I'm not saying that just because you're not good at conversation, that there's nothing inside of you that has any value. I'm saying that in order for people to see that in you, you have to be able to express it. You also want to work on understanding your own hopes, dreams, and fears, because if you can't express them, your partner isn't going to be able to read your mind. They're not going to be able to figure it out on their own. They may be able to over time, but at the beginning, it's really going to be difficult for most people to just figure that. You also want to work on showing the real you within reason. So when you're talking to people, you have to decide when it makes sense or when it's safe for you to be yourself with them. And a lot of people take the approach that they'll do this in doses or dosages. You don't want to wait until after you're married or after you move in together or have significant bills and children to actually show up as who you really are. Your partner should know who they are getting into the relationship with. You also want to work on believing in change. Many of us don't think that we or other people can change. It's really important to believe that you and others can change. While you're working on that, you also need to make sure that you understand it's not your job to finance other people's learning curve. It's not up to you to be the launch pad for other people. It's not your task. You also want to work on being able to make a plan and work that plan. Stick to that plan. Be able to execute on the things that you say you will do, not just promises you make to people, but things that you promise to yourself or things that you say are important to you. If you make a plan to go to the gym 3 times a week, try to stick to that plan. That's your physical health. It matters for the rest of your life. If you make a plan, each check, put aside a certain amount of money, that's your financial health. It's going to matter for the rest of your life. So do make plans and do try to stick to them. Try to find people to hold you accountable to sticking to your plans, people who will encourage you in keeping to the plans that you are making for yourself. And last but not least, remember that all plans have exceptions. So as much as a second ago I said, go to the gym and have a financial plan, remember that's the plan and there are going to be exceptions. Sometimes there are going to be things that are worth changing your plan. That's making a plan too. Now on to the next guy. Success does solve some problems, but it also creates brand new ones. More money, more problems. That's what happened to Kay. Kay excelled in school, getting advanced degrees, and building their intellect. They found their significant other and their people. They're thriving as far as their physical activity goes. Everything has just worked out. Kay has faith in their financial situation and that everything will just work out. But their partner and chosen family seem to have questions. Things I've had to work on with the K type of person. Saving, investing, trusting for miracles, and gambling are all different things. K needs to work on understanding how money works. They need to understand risk and reward and long-term planning, and that as much as things could have worked out perfectly up to this point, they need to make a plan not just to make their partner comfortable, which is actually really important, but also just in case things don't continue to work out as well as they have. Unfortunately, I've seen this type of person go through downturn after downturn, and they're still expecting for things to just work out. I've actually worked with this person as an older adult, and the challenge for them is that they don't have any plan B or listen to the people that they chose as their inner circle. So Kay needs to work with somebody who will show them a financial plan and help them stick to it. And they need to work with their partner and listen to their partner since they've chosen them on some of the things that they're more gifted at than Kay is. As far as chosen family goes, remember, they are not a consolation prize. You chose them for a reason. You put them in your life. Now, chosen family isn't just your friends. Chosen family is your family members that you decide to listen to and keep in your life. When you have people in your inner circle or chosen family, you should value their opinion and listen to what they have to say to you. So when they're calling out that you have a penchant for gambling or magical thinking, just believing that things are going to work out even though you don't make a plan, it really would be a good idea for you to listen to the people around you and not necessarily do everything they say, but give weight to what they're saying to you. One of the other things I work on with somebody like Kay is understanding community. Now, to keep it short for this video, my definition of community is you bring what you can, you take what you need, and you stay curious and considerate. If you want to be in a working community, whether that's a friend group, a family, or a partnership, Those are the things that you want to do. Bring to the table whatever you can after you've taken care of your health. Take whatever you need as long as you're being considerate of the other people in community and being curious as to what their needs are. And a big reminder for Kay is that the energy that you poured into your education and successful career and climbing the corporate ladder can be pointed at other things. I've had people like Kay tell me that they're just waiting for their partner to tell them exactly what to do, and they'll be happy to do their share in the house. They know that that wouldn't work in the work world. They also know that that wouldn't work in school. They can't just wait for people to tell them exactly what to do. They have to take initiative. But at home and in their relationship, they're not taking initiative. That's just one example. The skills and abilities that you have in one area can be applied to other areas. Then there's C. C did everything society asked, finished school, landed a career they genuinely enjoy, but now they're asking a terrifying question. Is this it? The thing that I work on with C is understanding, quite simply, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Again, I know you've probably heard it before. At the bottom is your basic needs, all the way up to self-actualization. The reality for C is that there was a lot of scaffolding, and there's things that C didn't have to do while they were in school and while they were out there doing the things that they needed to do. Now that they're on their own, they have self-actualized, but now they also need to learn to take care of the smaller things. They need to take care of their own bills and start contributing to their community, which they haven't really been able to up to now because they've been a student and they've been receiving a lot. So for many years, C thought they were locked in and that was good. They were a lone wolf. They were getting everything done. They didn't have fun because they didn't feel like they deserved it yet. And the second thing they have to work on is understanding that you need to continuously do things to enjoy your life, not just work and grind and keep on trying to do well while learning to do all of the adulting tasks. You also need to learn to have fun and use some of your resources to enjoy your life. And the last reminder for them is that with great freedom comes great responsibility. The first thing that they have to do is take care of themselves. And then by taking care of themselves, they can contribute to community and bring more to the table. Last but not least, there's N. Not because they're unhappy, but because they're redefining success. Now, N is a maximizer. Not only did they finish school and upgrade their knowledge in tech outside of school by getting multiple certifications, they're also making money they only once dreamed of making. They've invested that money, so they're not being irresponsible with their money. They've got a significant net worth above what most folks in their age group have. They're even enjoying shows and going out and enjoying life. They love to travel and they're still striving, but they aren't feeling at rest. What do you do when you're on track and you have an amazing life? You need to learn to breathe. You need to learn to relax and slow down and enjoy life. We need to take a break and talk about the 4 types of ambition. I think one of the biggest mistakes we make is believing ambition only looks one way, and it just comes from getting money, especially guys. 1, there's achievement ambition. I want to accomplish something. It's driven by goals, performance, mastery, and measurable success. The examples are promotions, finishing a marathon, building a business, or getting a degree. Number 2 is status ambition. I want to be recognized and driven by reputation, influence, prestige, titles, or financial success. The examples are becoming a VP, gaining 100,000 YouTube subscribers, love to be seen as an expert, earn a high income. Then there's connection ambition. I want to build meaningful relationships driven by love, community, belonging, family, and contributing to others. The examples are becoming a great spouse or parent, building lifelong friendships, mentoring young people, creating a thriving community. Last but not least, there's purpose or impact ambition. I want my life to matter. It's driven by legacy, service, values, and making a positive difference. The examples are improving mental health, teaching financial literacy, reducing loneliness, and leaving the world better than you found it. This evolution is pretty common. As people gain competence, many become less motivated by proving themselves and more motivated by helping others. And the challenge for N is accepting that, because they still believe that they need to have more and more and more in order to feel happy until they recognize that they've already done that. They are set up pretty well for life. The thing is, they're more likely to burn out than actually start enjoying life. So all of that to say that N needs to learn to define success beyond career and money, whether it's through hobbies that you can improve on, or whether it's through volunteering and giving back. That's the thing that N needs to do in order to be healthier in life. Big reminder for everybody, and N especially, is it's all made up anyway. Seriously, the rules, the timeline, the idea that you have to have it all figured out by 30. I work with people who are in their 60s and are just trying to figure it out. Again, they had it figured out and they have to keep figuring it out. It's a lot of trial and error. All of these rules, somebody made it up, which means you get to decide what success looks like. You get to decide who you become, and you get to redefine it as many times as you need to. So which one are you? J, K, C, or N? Or maybe you're a mix. Let me know in the comments. If this helped you, share it with a guy who's trying to figure it out. It might be exactly what he needed to hear. Take care. Talk soon.